morning guys, welcome back to Vlogmas. Today I thought I would do a fun little video where I show you around all of the postcards that I have collected from my travels. If you guys have been following for a while, especially on Instagram, then you will know that each place I go to, I buy a postcard with a photo that most represents my memory from there. So it might not be the most popular tourist site, but it's like in the area we were living or a really cool day that we had. So I try and get a postcard that really like takes me back to the experience of being there, and then on the back I write down all of our favorite memories, and I try and write things that are a bit more obscure than like, oh, we went to the Eiffel Tower. I try and do, you know, that hilarious dog we saw someone carrying, or you know, something funny that happened, or something quite small that I think I might not remember or I might not have a photo of. So that is the only souvenir that I take from places. We do sometimes buy Christmas tree decorations, but it depends if we see the right thing. So these are my main souvenirs. I haven't been doing it the whole time I've been traveling because I only thought of it a couple of years ago. So I have quite a lot of postcards, but I don't have everywhere I've ever been, which is a shame, but I feel like at some point you have to start, and you probably won't start the day that you're born. So I'm glad that I started when I did, and I thought it would be a fun video to show you around and reminisce together. Have them inside my wardrobe. So this is my dress collection while we're here. Does not fit in a suitcase. I just take bits and pieces whenever I need, whenever I'm at home. And so both the doors, I've got a bunch on this side and then also a bunch on this side. So let's start with the shorter one, I guess. So this is my best friend's hen party in Madrid. We will have a photo together at this like bear statue, which is super cool. Ljubljana, I was vlogging, so you guys probably saw that. Me and Ed were there for my birthday this year, 2018, when I turned 29. And this is the church right in the main square. So we used to walk past this every day to get from our Airbnb to our office. And then Tbilisi, I really liked this one because it was just a really unusual rather than a photo, and we saw lots of these different sites. So this is the big kind of Eiffel Tower thing, which is in my vlog. Then Helsinki, where we went to Pride, which was hosted down in this square. So it was right in front of this church, so there was a big like party happening down here. In this picture it's snow, which is pretty crazy, but when I went it was Pride, and that was a really fun weekend. Then there's Utrecht, which is just outside of Amsterdam, and of course the canals are such a fond memory from there, but this really takes me back to how it was, and this church is an important monument in Utrecht. You can see it from a lot of the different streets. Then this one is from Barcelona, where I went with my mum and my grandma, and we went to an art gallery, and this was my favourite piece from the art gallery because I thought it looked like a fish swimming past a GoPro when you're trying to take an Instagram. So that's just a fun, very specific one. Then we went to Nashville just a couple of weeks ago, and we walked along the bridge to see the skyline at night when we went to go to all the honky tonks, which I cannot get over that name, but we went to go see Broadway, and this was like our view as we walked along the bridge to get there. Then this is my most recent one. This is from visiting my friends in Boston, and I didn't get a picture of Boston because we actually were living with them and we didn't really leave their little suburb very much, so we didn't go and see Boston. I've been there a lot before, so it was more just about spending time with them. And this is actually their Christmas card, but it's on a little postcard, so it's the perfect one. Then San Juan. Now this one I have a picture of the cruise ship, because from our apartment we could see all the cruise ships and we were kind of watching them. So although this isn't like a beautiful beach photo, it just really reminds me of the view from our gorgeous apartment, which you will have seen in my apartment tour. Then we've got Kiev. I took myself on a tripod Instagram tour of Kiev, and this was my favourite spot. So down in these kind of archways I've got some really cool pictures, and we also took Ed's drone. So we didn't take a drone picture here, but we have some other drone pictures in other areas, so that really reminds me of our trip to there. And then there's Rome, where I did one of my favourite Instagrams where I did pretending I was in front of a blue screen at the Colosseum. So you guys have probably seen that one on my feed. But of course the Colosseum is such a central point, and I actually went twice. I went on 2 different days to go see the Colosseum. Then Valparaiso, which was a little trip from when we were living in Santiago in Chile, to see all the beautiful coloured houses, which was so much fun. We just went for the day. And then this is Searching for Forest Friend's Treasure in New Mexico, and this just looks exactly like all the drives that we saw, and it really reminds me of just hiking in the lovely sunshine. And onto the other side. I'm trying to do these quite quickly for you, but there's so many. Okay, so this one at the top is Paris. We took so many Instagrams, so I wanted to get one that looked kind of like a Polaroid. And I love that the skyline, all you can see is the Eiffel Tower. There's no other like skyscrapers. And so when we went up a building, we had an amazing view and it was really just like this. Then this is Argentina. We went to Buenos Aires and we saw people doing flamenco on the street, which I was really excited about. So that was one of my favourite memories from there. And then this, guys, you'll recognise from my vlog as one of my favourite experiences ever. This is Bolivia, seeing the salt flats, and we sat here and watched the sunrise and I cried because it was so beautiful, and that just looks exactly like how I remember it. Then this is a ski trip I did with Ed's family, I think last year, and it just looked exactly like this. Like the shop, the corner shop was just down here, so we went for New Year's a couple of years ago, and that just looks exactly like it did when we were there. Then Berlin, where we lived for a month, and the graffiti is such a big part of Berlin, so that really reminds me of being there. Then this is from a previous trip on Boston where I actually did go into town rather than just staying in the suburbs, and I love the Boston skyline at sunset. I used to often walk along the water and like see this lovely view. And this, I think, is the first one from my collection, which was in Thailand. And on this trip, it just really captured the like beautiful artists, and it's kind of not too touristy. This makes me kind of feel like I live there. And then Bali, we sat in the sunset and flew the drone, and it was so beautiful. The Bali sunsets are just the best. So this really reminds me of that trip where we went to go get the suits for the wedding. This is another Thailand one where I came with my family, so we did a few more of the touristy bits and we saw this awesome temple. Then Atlanta, which is the same friends who now live in Nashville, but this is when I came to visit them in Atlanta and see the awesome skyline. There's so many cool buildings there. And I've even got one from London. I know I'm British, so maybe I don't need a postcard from London, but we lived on Brick Lane for a couple of months, and so this just really takes me back, and I've got some really fun memories in that one. This one is, of course, Hong Kong, and my favourite part of Hong Kong was just all the insane neon lights, so that's just exactly how I remember it. One from Sri Lanka, where I went with my family. I did vlog this, so you guys can watch that one back, but this was, we went on an elephant tour to try and see elephants in like a jeep, and they were really far away and there was tons of people. It was just like a permanent traffic jam all day, and the elephants were really far away. But then on the way home we saw a wild elephant just walking next to the road, so we saw an elephant and a baby just walking along doing their own thing, and it was just us, nobody else around, so that was a really, really magical memory. And then Egypt, where I went with my friend Alison, which I also have a vlog from, and we did a bit of diving. We went in like a glass-bottomed boat, so we saw all these lovely fish, and it was very exotic and cool. And then this one is from Malta, where I went with a group of friends, and it was really cool. I loved all the different towns, but this was kind of one of my favourites. This is Verona, and that is the Romeo and Juliet balcony, which we went to go and visit, and it was so cool. I mean, there was tons of people there, but it was really fun to imagine like how it was originally written from this balcony shouting down. Then I also went to see Niagara Falls in Canada. This is one of my favourite vlogs because we got so wet, but I really wanted to capture how wet it was and how much mist there was. So we went on the Maid of the Mist boat, and boy was it misty, so that just is exactly how I remember it. Then this is Koh Lanta in Thailand, and we commuted along this beach every single day, walking from our Airbnb to our co-work, which was right on the beach. And I actually have an Instagram taken like in this exact spot, so this photo just totally takes me back. This is the Atacama Desert, which was on our way to the Bolivia trip, and we saw all these llamas, and I also bought a Christmas tree decoration of knitted llamas with the pom-poms in their hair. They're so cute. Then the time we spent in Santiago, we were living on like the 18th floor, so we had these amazing sunsets every single night, and this is just exactly what it looked like to me, just these incredible red sunsets. I've got so many photos on my phone, and this was just pretty much exactly our view. I was so excited to find this on a postcard. Then Cuba, which is another awesome vlog that I've got up, of course with the classic cars and the beach, and this just totally sums up our memories from the trip. Australia, we had to go to Australia Zoo, we had to go see the Steve Irwin Zoo, and this was just exactly how it was. There's our Summer in the audience here, with the crocodiles just being totally wild and terrifying, but what an amazing trip. Then I've got Belgrade. This I have a vlog of. I think we went here on my birthday, so that's a really nice memory. And also here we did like a birthday tour, so we saw most of these things just on my actual birthday, which was really cool. So I've got an Instagram right there, and also in this castle. Then this is from Melbourne, so that one's Brisbane really, and this one's Melbourne. And we did a trip to the Sea Life Centre. We had just a really short weekend and it was so cold because we were used to living in Brisbane where it was boiling. We went to Melbourne and it was really cold, so we were totally out of our depth and we just went to the Sea Life Centre. Okay, last two, we've got another one from Santiago because we've actually done 2 separate trips there. So you'll see this is pretty similar, but this is actually where our other apartment was over the road this time, so over here. Whereas this one was like in the centre of town. So again, this was the view that we got, and we were working actually in this building. So that was really cool to be able to get it on a postcard. And then lastly, the Rila Monastery in Bulgaria, which was one of my favourite Instagram spots I've ever been to. Inside here is all this amazing religious painting that's so well preserved. And then it's got these like humbug stripes in red and in black. And on the inside, it's absolutely covered in gold and paintings, and it's so beautiful. That was a really cool trip. So I hope that wasn't too ridiculously long, but I'm so happy with my postcard collection. I would love to know in the comments what you guys collect, if anything. Maybe you want to start collecting postcards. I think they're really fun, and obviously on the back of these I have really nice memories from each of my trips that I can read back, and it takes me right back to being there. So this was really fun for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in tomorrow's Vlogmas. Don't forget to subscribe and have a lovely evening. Bye!